Okay, hello again, everybody. We just did our energy exchange. So now what are we going to do? We are going to go to our charts, our beautiful spiritual response technique charts. You're starting to maybe understand what they are and what I can do with these charts, what we can do with these charts, what we collectively can do, because it's not just about me, right? I'm a conduit. I've prepped to work by neutralizing my ego and saying, this isn't about me. This isn't about Kate. This is about the collective. This is about all of us together, sharing our weaknesses, sharing our strengths, sharing our shadow, looking at it together and saying, you have a shadow, I have a shadow, you have subconscious programming, I have subconscious programming. We all have traumas and stories and pains, situations. We have tendencies, we have soul identities, we have astrology, we have human design, we have numerology, we have all these layers and all these factors influencing who we are. And that's okay. We don't have to have guilt or shame about those things. And we don't even have to wonder why. We can allow the understanding of ourselves and the collective, we can just hand that over, right? We can just say, there are some things I'm never going to understand. There are some things that maybe we aren't designed to be able to understand. With what, the 8 to 10% of our brain that they say we're actually able to use and actually process and assimilate and all of those things. Yeah, maybe there's just some stuff we're not going to know. But we're going to look at together what we can see, what we can know, what we can research and seek out. And then we're going to work together to figure out a way to release it, to reprogram it, to destroy it, to do whatever we want to do with it. And maybe sometimes also what we're looking to do is to nurture it. Maybe the charts want to tell us some information about ourselves that needs to be nurtured and held and lifted up, or broadened and expanded, because sometimes we can say, what percent would it be in our highest benefit to lean into a certain archetype or lean into a certain kind of programming, because for whatever reason right here right now that archetype or that programming would be in our highest benefit in this time and in this place and in this reality. So we get to figure all that stuff out with the charts. And again, if there's ever any questions you have, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask them. Let's have a conversation. Let's look into the charts together, because this work is fantastic alone. I do it all the time, at least once a day, sometimes more. And yet it's also really fun with friends. So please don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so let's get started. When we did our energy exchange, we were letting go of low self-worth or low self-esteem, and we called in listening. Okay, so this is what I do, right? I take a second and I think, okay, let's think about this. Let's think about either the symbolism here. Let's think about the lesson here. Let's think about how and why these two things came up together. And the thing that first came to me was like, okay, if we call in listening, the listening to spirit, the listening to the world around us, the listening to, who and what we are when we are just quietly sitting by the river, watching the birds fly by, who is that person? That person is somebody who should be and can be esteemed. It's when we are operating as our programming, our ego, our shadow, like out of balance into those things, that's when, we can look at ourselves and have low self-esteem and say, what the heck is going on there? Additionally, low self-esteem could be us listening to other people's beliefs about ourselves, us listening to the programming, us listening to those words that somebody said about us that one time that really stuck, or perhaps even us listening to years worth of programming and abuse that many of us have been through. I watched The Black Swan last night, and it makes me think of the main character and the dynamic she had with her mother. Her need for perfectionism, her need to be the best was coming not necessarily from her and her true beliefs about herself. It was these beliefs that someone else had programmed in her and really brainwashed in her. So many of us are brainwashed, many of us are programmed, I would say the majority. And so we're going to say, what can we do to breathe through all that noise, get to the listening so that we can listen into the truth about who we are and why we should esteem ourselves. So we're just going to get started. We're going to say, what can we do? What can we do? What's the first chart we look at? What's the first thing we look at? Did you just show me Reiki? Yes. This has come up one other time before, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do with that right now. But for anybody who practices Reiki, I would encourage you to use your time with energy work to listen into yourself, to help your clients listen into themselves, that true listening. So instead of us telling and us giving our opinions and our feedback, what would it be like to just listen? And I'm also going to ask Spirit, are there any chakras or anything out of balance right now that you would like me to just apply the verbal Reiki to? Yes. And so how many of our chakras are out of balance? 8 of them. And so we do have chakras, not just the 7 that are in our physical, that sort of line up with our physical centers, right? But we also have some above the head, some below the feet. And so this is saying 8. All 8 of these chakras are out of balance. And so we're just calling those things into balance now, using the power of Reiki, using the power of Ki, right? Ki is life force. So let's take a minute, all of us, to just sit down for a second and call in that life force. My dog is snoring. She's calling in life force right now. Good deep breaths. And maybe for you, there's a particular center in your body, your throat, that you have felt blocked from speaking, your heart, you've been blocked to being open to love, intimacy, vulnerability, care, nurturing. Maybe again, it is your solar plexus, blocks to believing in yourself, blocks to self-esteem. Ooh, yeah, I'm feeling some tightness there right now as I say those words. So we're going to just be energetically calling in peace, love, and healing in everyone's chakras, calling into balance and harmony the life force that exists inside of all of us. And anybody whose chakras have been turned off, we're clicking them on now. Anybody who would benefit from listening to their body, listening to these centers, these spaces, these places where, you know, we have energy moving and they all serve a purpose. So anybody who has been struggling with any of those areas, we're just calling upon the power of Reiki and all sorts of energy medicine to give us a nice boost and a nice kick now. Chart guide 2, well, I do have that nearby. This is my crazy SRT bag where I have all of my random books, and this is that big old book of charts that I've talked about before. I don't know that I've ever had a video set up where you could actually see it. So I've got 4 different sections in here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it just said chart 2, chart guide 2. Oh, archetype. Okay, so we're going to different archetypes. It's called the Archetypes of Discovery. Oh, isn't that interesting that that's what, I don't know if I named it that or if it was just automatically named that. The hero archetype. What percent, I love that. Whoops. What percent is the collective open to their own hero archetype? What percent is the collective open to their own hero archetype? 100%. What percent is the collective blocked to their hero archetype? So we all want to be operating in that hero archetype, but we're blocked to it. So what are the blocks to our hero archetype, and what can we do to rid ourselves of those now? So this is chart 10A, miscellaneous blocks. 10A, miscellaneous blocks. Ooh, multiple souls. And so again, I'm hearing and feeling that this is just the influence of multiple souls, multiple people, multiple programming on us that is preventing us from being in our hero archetype. So many people feeling like shame and guilt around believing that they could be any kind of a hero, shame and guilt around the pride that comes when you are a hero or you're operating in that hero archetype. A belief that being a hero is bad, wrong, or sinful because we are supposed to be we are supposed to be servants, we are meant to be underneath. We have been trained and taught through every system imaginable, religious, political, educational, the whole 9, criminal. All of the systems tell us that we are we are less than, we are under. It is very rare that you're going to find a system designed, at least in this country, that is meant to build you up and make you feel good about yourself. So we're clearing anybody of any messaging, programming, belief systems, operating systems that they were gifted from other souls, other being, other systems that is not serving their highest good here and now, and that is blocking them from their hero archetype. calling that in now. Thank you. Okay, so what percent, just after doing that, what percent are we now open to our hero archetype? Well, we were 100% open. What percent are we now blocked to our hero archetype? 15%. So what can we do to clear out that final percent, that 15% block to our hero archetype? Chart 20, chart 20. And balance of the etheric body at the one level. Spirit, we ask for this to just be brought back into balance. Neutralized. Like, I think of the observer, right? I think this is teaching, Buddhist teachings, sort of some Zen teaching, right? Of like being able to pull back and observe yourself, pull back and see yourself. And my take right now, at least for today, is that our etheric body can get out of balance when we are not operating as the observer, but we are so sucked in and tied to our identity as humans. And that our hero archetype will be able to function fully in the way that is in our highest good here and now when we can step back and sort of watch it as if it's a movie. Watch yourself be the hero as if this is a movie. Stop pretending like this is, again, like I said in an Instagram post the other day, like one of the things that I've learned, especially since inching into my 40s, has been like act out life as if it's a movie, and more remarkable and amazing things will happen. If you see your life as this remarkable, crazy thing that you can kind of just watch, including yourself, if you're just like watching yourself do a thing, there's this separation, this distance that I actually think brings us into harmony, balance, and neutrality. But when we are in it, when we're covered in the story of our life, when we're covered in our archetypes, when we're just like seeing no separation between who we are, how we're acting, what's going on in the world, our trauma, when it's all just sort of gooey, glumped up together, that's when we get out of balance. That's when our etheric body, which is this beautiful energetic body right on the outside of all of us, gets out of balance. We are not able to separate ourselves from what is going on around us, separate ourselves from the stories and the systems and the belief and, you know, the beliefs and all this other stuff that I just talked about. So we're just clearing all levels and all layers and all depths and all directions. Any of these, anybody who's struggling right now to experience that disconnect, to experience that skill of observation, observation and listening. I'm seeing the connection point now and why this is coming up and why I'm being drawn to talk about this. Because not only then, so we called in the energy of listening earlier, and that's part of what we're working on right now. Excuse me. But part of being an observer is a willingness to listen. Observing is not just something we do with our eyes. We observe with our ears as well. We observe with our heart. And we're observing and listening, this sort of using all of our senses, and including our spiritual senses, those intuitive senses, to just watch, listen, absorb, without identifying, without becoming, just this beautiful separation, this beautiful listening, this beautiful observation, this beautiful moment of presence with all that is and all that you are. Okay, so now what percent have we cleared those blocks to our hero archetype? We've cleared them by 100%. So what percent have we blocked? 0%. Okay, fantastic. So that's what we needed to do. So then let me go back and ask another question. So what percent is the collective open and ready to release the low self-esteem? 100%. And what percent is the collective block to releasing this low self-esteem? 100%. So let's dive into that some more. So what do we need to do? What can we do that will be in the collective's highest good here and now to clear out that those blocks to clearing low self-esteem? And we got chart 16. Chart 16. Hi, sorry about that. Chart 16, and I'm actually gonna maybe move you over while we're at it so that it's not so sunny. Okay, chart 16. Blocks to mental expression. Our blocks to mentally being able to express ourselves is part of what is blocking us to our self-esteem. Blocks to mental expression. So we're just asking for those blocks to be destroyed disintegrated, dissolved, and released. Allowing us to mentally express ourselves. How many people feel like your mind is being contained inside of a box that is like this small? And you are not able to see and believe the unknown. See and believe and connect to the subconscious. See and believe and connect to the truth about your limitlessness. Your limitlessness. How many people right now, what percentage of people right now are blocked to, believing that they are brilliant and intelligent and wise? I just got the words in my mind that said, so many. I was having a conversation with somebody in the last few days, and the impression that I got was that they needed everything to make logical sense. And when something couldn't make logical sense, the way to combat that for them was to shut down belief and to get very simple and very basic with beliefs, and very simple and very basic with their understanding and their mental expression. Because once something got too challenging to hold, once something like fairness of life and death got too challenging to hold, they can't bear it. And so it's an immediate shutdown. It's an immediate, no, I don't even want to think about that anymore. I will just place this belief system here so that I don't have to hold space for good and bad, light and dark, the duality of fairness and unfairness. So we're clearing everybody now of any blocks to their mental expression, blocks to their mind opening up, blocks to their mind being able to explore and live inside the unknown and play inside the unknown. We ask for everyone right now to be downloaded with an energy of playfulness and curiosity so that we can open ourselves up to, we are grabbing our book again, opening ourselves up to the reality that there's so much more than we could possibly ever know, believe, or understand. And so why not just go play around in that realm? So interesting. Emotion code. Interesting. I've never got this chart before, so we're gonna play around. So what is the emotion that we're looking at here right now? This is fun. Despair. Oh no. So we're clearing everyone of despair that is fueling this emotional shutdown. The despair that is created when we don't understand why we're here, what we're supposed to do, what any of this means. We're clearing the despair around ourselves, our despair in who we are, who we've become, and the things we've done, our despair around what we believe are our limits of what we're able to accomplish, our despair around that unfairness that I brought up. So we're clearing the energy of despair for folks now. And what are we going to put in its place? Because I definitely want to put something in the place of that despair. Now that we have cleared the despair, what are we putting in its place? Oops, wrong chart. That's what 6A. Now that we've cleared despair, what are we putting in its place? Hope. We accept that now. Thank you very much. Okay, so what percent are we now blocked to letting go of our low self-esteem? Now we're only 20% blocked. See how great that is? Like we were at 100, and now just with those few little things, we're down to 20% blocked to letting go of that low self-esteem. So what can we do to clear that final percent? Is that chart 02 or 1? Chart 02. Ooh, interesting. So, it's so interesting. Skin came up. So I'm just going to ask for whatever that means to clear that. It is our largest organ of the body, and it might be something that people are struggling with. Maybe people who are struggling to accept themselves because of how they look. So we're clearing that for them now. Wow, I should not have put this book away because chart 2 is coming back up again. Great, fantastic. So now what are we doing on chart 2? What are we clearing? What are we clearing? I think I'm just going to have to leave this open here. Okay, what are we clearing? What are we looking at here for chart 2? Interesting. Is this 33 or 34? 34, chart 34, which is called well-being, our well-being chart. Walk in the woods, connect with nature. Walk in the woods, connect with nature. If you want to understand your limitlessness, if you want to release your low self-esteem, go walk in nature. Go be out in the woods. Spend time connecting with nature, for she is beautiful, and you will see that you are very much a part of her. We are all made up of the same stuff. So if you feel good and loving and kind to yourself in nature, or if you feel good and kind and loving towards nature, when you are in nature, when you are in the woods, when you're surrounded by the trees, know that you are a reflection of those trees. You're made up of the exact same stuff. You are filled up with the exact same life force. You just have access to consciousness in a way that we're not so sure that the trees have. But they are equally as filled with beauty and with joy and with love and with all of the beautiful things that you are made up of as well. Okay, so now what percent have we cleared our blocks to releasing self-limitation? We've cleared it by 100%. So I'm going to ask again, what percent are we blocked to releasing self-limitation? 0, or low self-esteem. Sorry, not self-limitation, same thing, but 0%. So we've cleared the blocks to releasing our low self-esteem, releasing these self-limiting beliefs about ourselves. And so again, we're back up. We're 100% in our hero archetype. We've released despair. We are taking a walk in the woods and feeling good about ourselves, being filled up with the same stuff that those birds and the trees and the water are filled up with. We are all filled up of the same stuff. It is beautiful and it is gorgeous and remarkable. And you are beautiful and gorgeous and remarkable. Whew. Okay. Anything else? Anything else that anything else the collective needs today? Anything else we can do? No. That was all. That was all. It seems like 20-some minute videos seems to be the secret here with our clearings for the collective. So we are just going to say we're doing 100% of mop up. We are cleaning up anything that we missed. If there's any crumb that got left behind, if there's any sort of residue from any of those blocks, we're clearing it now. We don't need the residue, and we're just relying upon those words to act in our highest good, to clear the way of anything that we didn't get to clear out with the charts. And our replacement energy is joy. And that's it. Joy. Our replacement energy today is joy. Whew. All right, everybody. This was fun. I'm hopeful that I can record a session with someone. So if you or someone you know is interested in having a session recorded, you have some openness to having a session recorded, I would love to chat with you because I would really love people to see what it's like to actually be in a session, not just me here talking to a camera. But if this is intriguing to you, if you know somebody who you think wouldn't mind having their either their face, their voice, or just their story on camera, then please let me know, because I would love to start working with people and sharing what this work does and what it's like and what a session is like, so that it becomes a little less scary or weird and people realize the awesome stuff that can happen in a session. And it's really individual. Like, stuff comes up that you're just like, how is that coming up? How do you know that, Kate? How is that coming up? And it's really just kind of fun. If nothing else, it's super fun. So, okay, everyone, now that the sun is about to be slamming into my eyeballs, I will say thank you for watching another episode of Clearing with Kate, and we will see you next time.